for 5 minutes or so, would she be open to being on the podcast and getting a wife's perspective over some of the stuff?
That right there.
Well, the one topic we haven't touched on is...
There's a non-male figure in the...
We do. We have
a new guest.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Okay. Oh, you're just going to
Slow
jump
down.
right into
No,
the next topic.
no.
For the first time.
So we have a new topic, and with that, for the first time, we've been talking about this for the last 14 episodes. We invited Patrick's wife. We want to get a female perspective on our next topic. I don't know how this is going to go. We could just edit this whole thing out. No, I'm just kidding.
You're welcome to.
No, and we have Mandy.
Yes.
So, the popular topic going around TikTok and YouTube, everything right now, is a lot of divorced guys and even single guys who haven't been married yet are choosing to stay single versus getting back into a relationship again because of either things that happened in their previous marriage, or they're just scared of what, could happen based off what they're seeing from other marriages failing. Like, right now, marriage is failing at over a 50% rate. So you have like a 50-50 chance right now of actually,
Right.
like, I mean, honestly, like, if you were doing anything else, like starting a business or whatever, and you had a 50-50 chance of, oh, I'm going to completely fail and lose everything I have in life, I mean, chances are you're probably going to maybe choose a different route. So that's kind of the same way people are looking at marriage right now. So it's not. It's
I did not know it was a 50%.
That's really
rate.
important.
It's actually getting less than 50 right now. So we're hitting the turning point where it's actually dropping below the 50% mark
This
right now.
marriage staying together is
Successful
less.
marriage.
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh.
Yeah. It's the divorce rates absolutely.
I don't know. Are you married, divorced, single?
Married.
Okay.
3 kids.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
So it is
Not
dropping
married,
rapidly. It seems to be declining rapidly. Like from the
Sure.
50s on, like if you look at the study, like it was like it kind of held steady, and then it was slowly, and then like in the last 10 years, it's just like.
And the funny thing is, I don't think that decline coincides specifically with religious beliefs.
No.
I think the decline is solely in technology. I think it's the desire for better, more, I want, I need, and me.
It's easier to get that attention that you're looking for right now.
Right, that fulfillment.
Yeah,
The
there's
fulfillment,
so
yes.
much
Easy way out.
selfishness, laziness, and I think that as a guy, there is zero responsibility in finding pleasure through technology.
And obviously you can go multiple ways. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can go into
Oh,
pornography,
yeah. Oh,
you can
yeah.
go into just like
Sure.
Video
Even just
games,
doom
games
scrolling.
together.
It's
doom scrolling.
it's
Like,
Correct.
focusing your
There's a
attention.
lot of
Yeah.
and it's not just guys. I mean, it's women too. I mean, there's but obviously we're talking about guys here. So there's zero responsibility. There's zero effort put into it.
Yeah.
It's easy.
There's no backlash.
There's no back. There's
Right.
And
No
so
payments.
yeah.
Oh,
and
I
so
don't like that. I'm moving to the next thing.
What's
Yeah.
super scary about that is it's all fake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not real.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, there's no real fulfillment in it.
Right.
Right. Well, and it comes down to, they say that teens and whatnot these days, their personal relationships, even just with friends, don't have the depth that they used to because of that same
Yes.
distraction. There's
They don't
no
know how to
one-on-one time.
Yes.
There's no
100%.
FaceTime.
Yeah.
Everything exists through a screen. So whether it's your friend on that screen or Joe Schmo TikTok famous
And
person,
I feel like there's a
doesn't
lot,
matter.
even especially with kids, like I feel like there's so much more stress right now because of social media.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
my
Standards are higher.
my daughter, my young, 16 now.
She just told me the other day that so she doesn't have social media. That's what decision we decided on.
Sure.
And she came to me and she said she was upset about it, and then she was like, "Dad, I think I'm glad I don't have this." And
Oh my gosh!
it was
of
amazing.
course
I was like,
of
what?
course she said that.
So, but this
The
is
great
this
daughter.
is
The
why,
perfect
right?
kid.
Perfect
Talking
child.
about the intricacies of social media and dating, and being single or not. her friend was interested in this guy, and they were interested, and they were dating or starting dating or whatever, and she had snapped him, and he had left her unread for 20 minutes.
Unread or on-read?
Unread.
I don't know.
On-read.
What does that mean?
So there's a little note underneath that says...
See, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
On-read. The little note
I don't even know what you're talking about.
says that he read it.
Okay, but he didn't respond.
And did not choose to respond.
Okay, yes.
That's important.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Okay. Oh,
And
gotcha.
And so now she's freaking out.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm not important enough.
He couldn't even respond.
He couldn't even respond to me. And there's
in that instance.
Yeah, there's no allowance for maybe he was out playing with his friends, or maybe he was eating dinner with his family, or maybe he just didn't know what to say and had to think about it, or maybe there's
any number of possibilities. He happened to see it, but was in the middle of something and didn't have time to respond.
So I would
instant
hate,
gratification.
yes, and I would hate to be in this generation trying to date, because it sucks, because the assumptions are that it's going to be through technology. Mm-hmm. It's not face-to-face so much. Mm-hmm. The norm is now through technology, and that's just, it's untenable. I mean, how do you...
I feel like nobody gets to know anybody anymore.
No.
Right. There's no depth to any of it.
And expectations are...
50 years ago, that was a letter. A
Yeah,
letter in the mail.
Weeks.
I was mailing. That wasn't 50 years ago.
Dan, you're such a loser. Nobody our age mailed anything. I never posted. I never posted anything in the mail in my entire life.
Who knows what you're illiterate.
Mail is? Oh my word.
You still don't know how to write a letter.
I wrote letters, but then I passed it to the girl.
Oh, but did you fancy fold it first?
Okay.
I just did house parties.
And then I just went.
Oh yeah, what were those things called?
Cootie catcher.
Cootie catcher.
They're like cousins.
They're
my cousins. They're not related to one another. They met, and within like a week or a month or something like that, she moved to France for something, and he was still here. Their entire relationship was in handwritten letter correspondence.
Yes, and that was in the
depth
60s
of those letters, all of
70s.
that, the emotion in those letters, literally brought them into one of the happiest marriages I've ever known.
It's one of the most amazing stories.
And it all developed through handwritten letters, not even face-to-face time, but there's so much depth to it. Yeah. TikTok, texting, what you doing? Nothing. What you doing?
Yeah. Can you imagine the anticipation?
I do.
Right.
Of waiting for that to come in the mail. Yeah. And then you got it. You didn't just read it. You went and found a spot.
Yeah.
And you sat there and you read it and you engulfed it and you stopped.
And you probably reread it 100 times.
Again.
Yes.
But it's so much more personal too when you see their handwriting.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's only unique to them.
I think about this even in, I don't want to derail that part of it, but like even in marriage, texting almost becomes too much, because then you're at the end, you get home,
That's true.
You're with your wife, you already know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's nothing to talk about.
That's
I don't
so
text my wife
interesting.
all day. The only time I text my wife is when I'm going home from work.
Hey, Mandy, what is the most common text you get
He
from me
texts
during
when
the
he's
day?
coming home from work.
What is the most... Okay,
I'm always like, are you dead?
Shut
Where
the
are
fuck
you?
up.
I text my wife one time and I'm getting in trouble.
Mandy, what is the most common thing that I text you in response to anything you say?
What's for
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's how I
So
respond.
my car, reads the texts out, and the kids will all say, it says Patrick says, and the kids will say at the same time, all in unison, thumbs up emoji.
That's how
it is always
But
his answer.
But so think about a kid in this day and age trying to date. Sorry.
No, I was going to add on to that. Go ahead.
And you've been snapping because let's be real, nobody texts. It's whatever. I'm
okay for kids.
Snapping.
For kids.
I text. I don't have
Snap.
Snapchat, but they're snapping. So, and most of it's just like it's nothing. It's a picture of like, oh, I got to respond to this. I got to respond.
Emotion.
And then they come together. Then what is there to talk about? They've been blah 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 blah. And so I mean, I don't want to say who, but like one of my kids dating, they're like, yeah, the guy just wants to watch movies every time. Like, there's no interaction. There's no face-to-face. There's no, like, there's just sitting there watching a movie. And, like, and she actually has gotten to the point where, and she is of this, new generation, where she's just like, I don't want to just do that. I want more.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
I am absolutely not going to get into any names here, but I know someone in that age group that it was like if they were not, Finn has like swim practice and go talk and all these things. If they weren't in a thing, then they were texting each other. We run out of things to talk about just the same as we do at home. And so then the other half of the relationship was like, well, we never talk about anything real. Well, if you're talking 100% of the time, of course you're not talking about anything real. There's nothing left.
Right.
And so that puts a lot of pressure on that too.
Right. We thankfully still get to, and we still get to the point where she has to tell me to stop talking about my day. And that is amazing. That's great. I
don't tell you to stop talking about your day. I say, yes, you already told me that. Yes, you already told me
Can I
that.
ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Because you made a statement at the beginning that you two went to Greece or somewhere for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he said you guys never fought.
We didn't.
Ooh, good.
That was awesome.
Verifiable, right?
No, we really didn't.
We did not. We had the most.
I didn't know if he was just lying to me or not.
No.
I
had
have
the most amazing trip.
Well, but if you think about it,
It
what
was
do you
so
fight about?
phenomenal.
You fight about the kids. You
Wow.
fight about the bills.
Look at this. Listen.
You
That's
fight
what
about.
he said.
And
Okay,
we
I
didn't
didn't know
have
where
all
that
of
was going to go.
stuff. But we didn't have any of that stuff. We didn't have the bills
Because
to
we're
worry
not
about. I
fighting
didn't.
about. We
So
don't
you were
dislike
actually
each other
enjoying
as
each
people.
other?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
I
going to
love
tell
it.
you right now that this can be totally clipped. She gave me
Wait.
the best.
Do not.
She gave me
Do
the
not.
best dinner I have ever had. The best dinner.
This will be cut.
Hold on, this is not
This is
going
gonna
to
be
be cut.
clipped right here.
So
And I don't mean in the bloopers.
I fought and
Dinner.
I fought with the cruise line, and I got them to serve us a fancy meal on our veranda, which we wound up with
Our balcony.
We wound up with a 40-foot balcony. So either way, we're on this balcony. We sat down and she ate topless with me all night long. And it
That's
was the
not where I
greatest-
thought this story was going.
No, it was the greatest.
It
No,
literally was
no.
just dinner.
For me, that was the best.
That's how you've dreamt every time you ate dinner with her. Right?
No shit. No, it was super fun because that is fun.
And you know what that says? That says
That's a story,
I am
too.
secure in who I am in front
Yes.
of you, with you.
Yes,
And
I'm
that's
secure
amazing.
with you.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
So, what were you wearing? And I'm going to high-five you.
I was naked.
Okay.
So she
Oh
got
my
mad at me.
gosh.
I was naked every time I was on that balcony. And she
Yeah.
was so pissed.
Except the way it worked from up above.
We're on a boat?
Like the
A
first,
cruise ship.
I don't know, 10 feet of the deck was under
guy
a
above you.
roof.
Yeah.
So you were fine. But the next 5 to 10 feet,
Nope.
every single
All I
layer
kept
above
saying
us
was,
could see
never
him.
gonna
don't
see
look
him again.
If you don't want to look down, don't look down.
Yeah, well, it's not your problem.
You're seeing one white ass.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
It's freeing, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Nice.
is liberating.
Freeing.
It's very nice.
But I got to eat shrimps while my gorgeous wife was topless.
I'm gonna have to try that one.
It was amazing.
I try to get topless haircuts because my wife's a hairstylist. But that never works out.
She's like right
Yeah.
in your face
Yeah.
trimming.
Zip. And your hair's all fucked up because you kept going.
15 years she hasn't done it yet.
Oh,
You might be
man.
out
She
of
always
luck.
makes me take my shirt off when she cuts my hair.
Yeah.
She's got it backwards. I don't want to force you guys back on topic, but I do want to say with regards to your previous question, though, I feel like another thing is work ethic. And that might sound silly, but, you know, he's hiring employees. And so we know what this younger generation, like, I'd say it pretty much started turning point around our age. And then anything below that, I swear so many people, and I'm definitely not saying everyone fits that stereotype, but so many people don't have the work ethic that the older generations did. And marriages work.
Marriage
Like,
is work.
yeah, there's a lot of good parts,
It's work.
but it's a lot of work.
He said
And they don't
something
wanna put it
earlier,
in.
which you didn't hear. It's not 50-50. It's 100-100.
Yeah,
That,
right.
And that's absolutely it. And I cannot get over the whiny things that I was upset about early in our marriage, that was easy. That was easy compared to later in your marriage. You know.
Yeah,
Man.
I can say, because I'm the odd guy, odd duckling out here, but like.
But you're not.
You know, in my perspective, when I was in that situation, like I never once thought my marriage would be where it's at right now, and ended, in case someone's just tuning in. But like, yeah, you have your struggles, but not once did I ever put myself in that perspective where, oh, it's over.
Right.
You guys have little troubles, disagreements, whatever, over things or whatever. You get by it, you get through it, you move on. That's what you do. You fix it. Don't let it happen again.
Right.
And that's where I was raised. You move on and you fix it. You have a stronger marriage after that.
Yeah.
And
I will definitely say there are a lot of personalities in this world who cannot move on from things either.
So, and I want to preface this. My wife is sitting here. I am not condoning extramarital affairs.
Thanks.
But hold on,
it's not the worst thing I've heard him say.
A really, really, very, very good friend of mine. He's much older than I. Much older than I. If he ever listens to this, he'll know who he is. He said to me recently, they've had this marriage for years and years and years. They both travel, and he said, "You know what, man? I'm telling you at this point, if she went and did one of her travel trips and came back and said, I did this, I'd be like, you're an idiot. Why did you do that? Let's not do that again." And when he said that, I was just like, I was kind of shocked, but I also got, you're still partners. You're still...
I think you gotta have a long relationship for that to be okay.
That's not a 5-year one.
Hold on. I am not implying that that's what I should do. I'm not at all. But I still saw somebody who has been with somebody for 30 years.
I think the key there would be if there was remorse.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Then I think you have. There's grace.
One thing if they did it, and then a week later they keep doing it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, no.
It's a screw up.
Yeah.
But that is important to preface in this conversation. But you still, no matter what happens, there needs to be an amount of grace. Yeah. That grace ends at some point.
I think it ends a little earlier than you think.
Okay.
Well, I think
that apparently we've gone down a road that I disagree.
And I absolutely agree with that.
That relationship that you're referring to, the other person,
they're clearly so secure in their relationship that they just be like, I can't believe you did that. Move on.
And I was not implying that everyone should be out cheating. I was saying it was great to hear somebody say, "I still love you."
It does, but at the same time, and I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you build 30 years of trust. It takes one time to break 30 years of trust.
True.
True. Correct.
Good luck ever getting that.
Right. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, they may move on, but it'll never be what it used to be.
Isn't it worth fighting for?
I mean, you'd hope so.
Because I've known several people.
I guess it depends how much you go by your vows.
Here's the thing. I think 30 years, we're using a 30 year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
30 years, somebody goes out and does that. Is that really the first time? Have you really, and maybe it is, but have you really had this amazing 30-year things?
And
have
then
been
someone
bubbling.
did that.
Yeah, things have been bubbling.
Who knows?
Things have been probably, and I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but more than likely, like probably something, at least in that person, probably things were going on there where they were not happy. They were not something or other.
We haven't hit 30 years, but we've hit 20, and I would not be down with that.
Oh, I'm not saying
I'm not saying I'd throw in the towel.
I apparently brought up something. We're going to have to cut like half of this.
No. Yeah, like I think what she's saying is like, I get what she's saying. She's saying, it's not okay because you have that trust issue built 20 years together. It's not okay to go out and do that.
Yeah, it's definitely not okay.
People make mistakes, yes, under alcohol.
There could be extenuating circumstances. Yes, there are. I'm not saying it's a hard and fast. It's over, but
something else is completely different. A kiss on the lips and kiss somewhere else might be completely different. Two different circumstances.
Where else would you
stop.
kiss somebody?
How many of those Guinnesses have you seen? Yeah.
Sometimes there's other locations of lips, but anyways.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, whoa.
Time out. But here's my 2 cents into this. Wouldn't you still want to try to fix it before you gave up on it?
Yeah. I keep going.
Absolutely, and I agree with that.
I keep going back to that one.
Okay.
100% do it.
I understand that. But we are all human, male or female. Yeah. If you do screw up, isn't it worth fighting for before you just throw it?
100%.
And I absolutely agree with that.
100%.
And that's where it comes down to.
Right.
And both parties have to want to fix
Right.
it.
Well, and realistically speaking, if one party cheated, maybe the other party is doing something wrong that caused the first one to feel so unfulfilled or whatever. Yeah. Like, there is always the possibility that both people did something wrong.
There is such an issue with me wanting to continue this conversation with what's in my head. Because it's implying like I'm setting myself up because I cheated on my wife.
No.
Because what I was going to say, here's the other worse situation is. One of them cheating, the other person accepting, and then making them pay for the rest of the relationship.
Yeah. No, that's not forgiveness.
Like, that's not forgiveness.
As much as there's a woman here, I'm going to say this anyway. Women hold grudges a lot longer than men do.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I even think that in the grand scheme of women, am not that bad. I still think women hold grudges worse.
I think, generally speaking, I would be forgiving, but not of this woman.
I don't understand.
That's an interesting statement.
I'm never going to cheat on you, but I don't understand what you mean.
I said something to you the other day of why I would...
Oh. Shut up.
We can't have it.
Are you sure? Hold on.
We can't have
What's that
it.
word called? Hold on. What's the freebie card called?
No. Hall pass. No.
But we've already talked about my hall pass is metaphorical.
I made the joke the other day. I said, you know what, hon? I would never kill the man that had sex with you. I would kill you. Because if I can't have sex with you, nobody else is having sex with you.
Cut that.
I mean, that's 3. Yeah, that's 3. You're
3 what? Things you have to cut out that he said?
Oh, no. Shit that I've said that's ridiculous.
He just incriminated him.
Yeah. I actually...
If there's ever an episode, just give us a call. We have video evidence.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I said kill.
Yeah. Hey, detective.
I said kill kids.
Call Chad and Josh.
Yeah. Who else did I say I was going to kill?
There was the second one.
There were multiple. Yeah.
I actually said to him when he said he was going to do this, I said, Patrick, I do not think you should be on film speaking. He has the worst filter.
We are very good at editing.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter because everyone who knows me knows I'm not going to murder her. She's going to murder me.
Yeah, but there are people who don't know you.
Going.
All right.
My daughter.
No, you're good.
It's been a pleasure, Dan.
Hey, you too, Chad. Pleasure meeting you, Chad.
I'm not leaving yet.
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm riding with Dan.
I was trying to end the podcast appropriately.
Oh, well, we should
cheers. Okay, because then we just go, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, right.
Cheers.
Wait, you got to
cheers.
Just a tiny bit.
Cheers.
To the bar in the woods.
To the bar in the woods.
And our new friends. Yeah. Cheers.
All right.
Okay. Check us out next episode 16 coming at you shortly.
Oh, awesome.
And